Well, you may live in an area that has a Jefferson Highway or street. Some of those roadways were actually part of one of the earliest transcontinental highways that linked New Orleans to Canada. Dave McNamara takes us on a road trip on a nearly forgotten highway in the heart of Louisiana.
This monument on St. Charles Avenue in downtown New Orleans takes you back more than a century to a time when automobile travel was new and roads were few. The Jefferson Highway could take motorists from Winnipeg, Canada to Bourbon Street.
Pine trees to the north and palm trees to the south. It was referred to as the Pine to Palms Highway. The Jefferson Highway is actually older than Route 66 and numbered highways.
Arlene Gould of Natchitoches is part of the Jefferson Highway Association, a group that reformed more than a decade ago to rediscover the old transcontinental route. The old highway passed along Front Street in Natchitoches.
Here's an old picture of Jefferson Street, and it's still a dirt road because you can see the horse and carriage here.
Gould is sifting through old photographs at Northwestern State University.
How important was the Jefferson Highway back in its day?
I would say very significant. I mean, because it kind of opened the doors, you know, for people from the north to get to the south and for people to get out and travel and see and do things.
It was another association that first met in New Orleans in 1915 that created the 2,300-mile-long route.
They said it got so heated, it was on the floor there, and it was just unbelievable. They called it the Second Battle of New Orleans.
The multi-state group agreed on certain cardinal points, and it was left up to local communities to connect the dots.
And then it was up to them to start trying to figure out how these routes were going to go.
Roger Bell, a historian and author from Oklahoma, is president of the new Jefferson Highway Association.
Why was that such an important deal for cities to be on that route?
It was thought to be a huge economic benefit to have people traveling, staying in their communities, just like we try to do today.
To mark the route, the letters JH were painted on utility poles. But as highways got new numbers, the Jefferson lost its identity. New 4-lane highways bypassed many of the towns. I drove the old route out of New Orleans, along Jefferson Highway to Kenner, then River Road for much of the journey to Baton Rouge, where you still find the old Jefferson Highway. It used to cross the river by ferry. Then it cut through farmland and followed a rail line to Alexandria. It went through Pineville and Natchitoches, then winds its way to the northwest, past Civil War battlefields, through tiny towns with decaying buildings that once served as hotels and garages for travelers. The Jefferson goes through downtown Shreveport, past the Municipal Auditorium where Elvis performed, and then heads west to the Texas state line. The winding journey took me more than 12 hours to complete. Today's highways cut that drive time in half.
It's just amazing the things that we find historically and culturally on this route.
And that's why tourist groups are remarking the old Jefferson route. They hope that today's travelers might enjoy driving a road less traveled and rediscovering the old places and the history that were once part of a great American highway. With the heart of Louisiana, Dave McNamara, WAFB 9 News.